The star lance was humming with its usual rhythm when the anomaly appeared. A flare of light, violet and unnatural, tore through my navigational readings. Before I could alter course, a gravity well swallowed the ship whole. I woke with alarms screeching, half the systems offline, and the hull scarred with strange, crystalline residue. Outside the viewport, there was no familiar star field, only a swirling nebula of iridescent gas and shattered asteroids. Then I saw her. At first I thought it was a trick of the nebula. A figure drifted among the rocks, her skin shimmering like polished silver, her hair flowing as though carried by invisible currents. She wasn't in a suit, and yet the void did not claim her. She was alive, butching. I activated the comms, my voice unsteady. "This is Captain Darius Vale of the Starlance. Identify yourself." She tilted her head, her enormous obsidian eyes fixing on me. Then she spoke, not through sound but directly into my mind. "You are not of this place. You fell into the rift." Her voice was soft, melodic, and impossibly ancient. "Who are you?" "Yes. I am Celera of the Arendari." The name meant nothing to me, but her presence was undeniable. I had stumbled into a region of space forgotten by my people, but clearly not abandoned. She reached for my ship with a hand glowing faintly with energy. Instruments flickered, stabilizers came back online, and the Starlance steadied itself. Whatever she was, she had power. And for reasons I didn't yet understand, she had chosen to save me. The middle days passed, though time seemed strange in the rift. Celera guided me through the wreckage of what I came to learn had once been a great civilization. The Arendari had built wonders across the stars, cities on comets, living ships grown from crystal and thought. But a war had shattered them, a war against something she called the Devourers. I had seen war before. I had seen orbital bombardments, fleets torn apart, and planets left as husks. Yet the scale she described was beyond human comprehension. The Devourers were not conquerors, but consumers, vast biomechanical entities that fed on civilizations until only silence remained. Celera was one of the last of her kind, guarding fragments of knowledge, waiting for an enemy that might one day return. I should have kept my distance. She was an enigma, something out of myth, and yet I found myself drawn to her. The way she spoke with quiet sorrow, the way her eyes lingered on me as though searching for something she had lost, the way she seemed fascinated by every scar on my hands. But fascination turned to fire when the Devourers returned. It began with a vibration, a pulse that rattled the hull of the Starlance. Celera froze, her luminous features hardening. "They come," she whispered into my mind. The rift trembled as a shape emerged from the nebula. A leviathan, black and angular, its surface crawling with metallic tendrils. Its many eyes glowed like dying suns. It opened a maw that could have swallowed a fleet. "Your weapons cannot harm it," Celera said, her voice tight with grief. "Not alone." But I was no stranger to fighting hopeless battles. The soldier in me, the part one thought I'd buried, awoke with a roar. "Then we don't fight alone," I growled, strapping into the Starlance's battered controls. Celera raised her hands, weaving energy through the air. Crystal shards burst from the asteroids, embedding into the hull of my freighter. Systems surged, power readings spiked, and suddenly the Starlance felt alive in my grip. We plunged toward the Devourer. The battle was chaos, beams of energy searing across the rift, tendrils lashing out like whips, the Starlance darting through debris fields with Celera's power flowing into its veins. My hands danced across controls as though the ship were an extension of my body. Every evasive roll, every desperate shot, every near miss felt amplified by her presence beside me. And then, in the heart of the fight, I made a choice no sane man would. I cut the engines, spun the ship, and dove directly into the creature's maw. Celera cried out, her hand clutching my arm, but she didn't stop me. Together we hurled everything into one suicidal strike. Her power channeling through the ship, my torpedoes armed and primed. The explosion ripped through the beast's core. The devourer screamed, a soundless vibration that shook the stars themselves, before collapsing into fragments of burning metal. Silence followed. When the echoes faded, I found Celera staring at me. Her silver skin shimmered with sweat, her chest rising and falling rapidly. Her black eyes reflected not just awe, but something deeper, something painfully human. She touched my cheek, her hand trembling. Her voice, when it came, was raw and fragile. "I wish you were my husband." The words struck me harder than any battle wound. In her gaze, I saw centuries of loneliness, the weight of being the last of her people, the longing for companionship she thought she'd never know again. And I realized in that moment that the fight hadn't just been about survival. It had been about proving that even in the face of annihilation, courage and love could still exist. The ending. We drifted together in the quiet after the storm. I didn't know how long the rift would hold me, or if I'd ever return to the settled spiral. But the thought no longer haunted me. Celera and I rebuilt the Starlance, fusing her crystalline technology with human steel. The ship became something new, something alive, a vessel born of two lost worlds. At night, if night could even be called such in that strange place, she would sit beside me, her head against my shoulder, telling me stories of her people. I told her stories too. Of Earth's seas, of the deserts of Mars, of battles I'd once fought and regretted. We were not lovers in the way humans or Arendari once understood it. We were something beyond those definitions. Two survivors who had found in each other the one thing the universe could never devour: connection. But the rift was not done testing us. More shadows stirred at its edges. The devourers had only sent a fragment. A greater storm was coming. Celera looked to me one quiet cycle, her obsidian eyes soft but resolute. "When they come again we will fight, not because we can win, but because together we will not yield." I took her hand. For the first time in a long time, I believed. And so the story of Captain Darius Vale, once a soldier, now something more, became entwined with Celera, the last Arendari. Two broken souls who defied the darkness, not with certainty of victory, but with the fire of defiance, and the whisper of a promise spoken in awe. "I wish you were my husband."